Hello, children. How are you today? Welcome to Thursday Storytime. Today's story is called Nicodemus Learns the Way. There was a man of the Pharisees, a leader of the Jews. His name was Nicodemus, and he'd heard the latest news. News about Jesus, a prophet, a teacher, a king. He knew he even cured the sick and healed the lame and everything. Few men before had done such things. Could he be the promised one? I must find out, thought Nicodemus. So, after the setting of the sun, Nicodemus went secretly to the place where Jesus was staying. He was afraid that Jesus might be sleeping, or maybe he'd be too busy praying. Whatever it was he was doing, Jesus was glad to welcome him in. I've heard so much about you, of all the things you've done. Do you know the way to heaven? Could it be you are God's son? Then Jesus kindly replied to the man, Nicodemus, there's only one way. You must be born again. Born again? Born again, you say? How can a man be born again? I just don't understand. Jesus answered, Believe in me. You don't have to be born as a baby again. You simply believe in the Son of God and you're part of his family then. For God loved the world so very much that he sent his only Son to die, and anyone believing this will someday live with him on high. From that night on, Jesus must have been in Nicodemus's every thought. He heard how Jesus continued to preach and of the great truths he taught. But the other leaders were all upset to hear so many believed. They'll follow him instead of us, they cried, for they were sorely grieved. Bring that Jesus here to us, the priests commanded their men. We'll kill that traitor, then he'll never preach those lies again. But when the priests' officers returned, they were all alone. We couldn't bring him in, they said. He's like no one we've ever known. Then Nicodemus spoke up. We must do according to our law. He can't be killed without a trial, and his offences none of us saw. The priest shouted at Nicodemus, Oh, do you believe in him then? Nicodemus said no more. He had a nice home and a very good job. Nicodemus was an important man. He said to himself, I tried anyway. I've got too much to lose. I've done all I can. But soon the day arrived when Nicodemus heard the awful news. They're taking Jesus to the cross. The cry spread throughout the land. Then Nicodemus remembered Jesus telling him that this is exactly what God had planned. Nicodemus went to see his friend Joseph when he heard that Jesus had died. The two men made plans together, and the two of them also cried. Joseph owned a new tomb, and they just knew what to do. They were going to bury their Saviour, and they didn't care who knew. Joseph of Arimathea was a counsellor and a very rich man. He begged Pilate, May I take Jesus' body? And Pilate said, You can. The two men took Jesus down from the cross and they carried him away. For all of Jesus' followers, this was the saddest day. Nicodemus brought some costly spices, and they wrapped him in cloths of white. Then they laid him in the garden tomb, and that was the first night. Jesus came back to life the morning of the third day, and as Nicodemus learned long ago, Jesus is the way. That's the end of that story, boys and girls. And today I want to say a very special hello to Nasiah and Susie. I hope you enjoyed that story, and we'll see you tomorrow for the last story of the week. Bye for now.